As a child, George Eager went forward during an invitation given by a famous evangelist named Gypsy Smith. Sadly, no one counseled this young boy to show him the way of salvation.
I was about 7 years old at this time, and I just thought everybody ought to respond to that invitation, but as I remember, perhaps I was the only one that was there. They patted me on the head and shook my hand, but nobody sat down with me and showed me from God's Word how I could be saved and know it.
It wasn't until 25 years later, after the tragic death of their son, that George and Laura Eager were saved. Soon thereafter, God led George to begin a school ministry, sharing the good news of Jesus Christ with many responsive students. Spanning 35 years of ministry, this outreach touched the lives of over 1 million children and young people.
Early on in this ministry, my grandmother asked my father, "What do you have for follow-up?" And my dad didn't even know what follow-up was at that time.
I said, "What is follow-up?" And she said, "Well, follow-up is something you send to the children. It's something they can read and something they can do, and you might not see them again, or you might not see them for years."
George found the hearts of children to be open and interested in learning more about God. He began sending them Bible lessons he acquired through another ministry.
Before long, we just had a real wonderful ministry. We were getting 50 lessons a day, then it went on up to 100 lessons a day. Our friends would come out on Friday night and we'd sit around the table grading the lessons, and that was one of the happiest times of my life.
Not too long afterwards, George and his team began producing their own Bible lessons, and soon the ministry of the Mailbox Club was underway.